ballerina. You sure are my nutcracker.
Hello, everybody. How you doing? I'm JB, and welcome to another edition of What's On Today with Discovery Bay, which I have an overlay for that. Bam! Home of the YouTube comic book community channel guide. Now, this is the show. Let me get some background music going on. Now, this is the show where I'm going to share my top picks from the sea of comic content that's been released already, and I'm going to run down a lineup of content creators that are still premiering or going live. Now, after that lineup, I'm going to break for a segment titled What's in the Box Already? And today's segment, I actually got a little guest host to help me with that one. But before we get started, let's go ahead and share my screen. I'm going to shoot you over to my channel on YouTube, and I'm going to share a couple of playlists that I have designed. And the first playlist is that I want to go over today is my top picks. And you guys have got to see two great pieces of content from my man, Perry Comics. Oh, that was the cue. That was the cue, JB. That was the cue for you to run his intro. So like I was mentioning, Perry dropped two videos yesterday. One was his Morbius trailer reaction, which flat out is going to go viral, Perry. You're at 519 views, and it only dropped 22 hours ago. This is the one that he was waiting for. That's why he doubled down and dropped it. Who is Morbius? Which is a fantastic video. I watched that one earlier this morning. Now, also on my top picks from yesterday, 16 hours ago, and I wanted to stream this, but I didn't get a chance. You guys have got to check out this Two Brothers Comics. They did an entry for the immortal Biggie Shaq, and it was everything you wanted and more. Watch it till the end. Now, also on my top picks for today, I've got, is he still in there? Oh, yes, he is. Gem ain't playing, bro. He is dropping content almost every day. Actually, I think he is dropping content every day. With him and Fee going live on the weekends, they're dropping something almost every day. Check out Gem Mint Collectibles as he does his early comic book reviews. He's got the hookup. You know what I mean. Now, next up, I've got MCE in the list. Oh, this was cool. I watched this one till the end. Lilia and Jaguar Chickataw talked about their 2020 comics and some other stuff on their mind. Now, Dylan's Comic Book Rants dropped a trailer reaction video to Black Widow. I've dropped a comment for him on that one. That was also fantastic. Now, let's get to the lineup and find out what's on today. All right, so at 2:30 p.m. Pacific, 5:30 p.m. Eastern, and you know that's my time slot. Every day, 5 days a week in that same time slot, JB's going live. Now, this is the decision show. This is the one where we're going to sort the books for tomorrow's pop-up shop. Now, if you're not following the channel, just go ahead and check out a pop-up shop, maybe from like yesterday, because it was absolutely spectacular. Now, also on the schedule at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, it's Tuesday. So that means another edition of Inquiring Minds over at Hialeah Comic Bro. You know, this is the one where you get Conquistador Kavi and Hialeah Comic Bro. They interview someone from within the community. And who do they have today? He does not say. We do not know yet, but man, you never want to miss that one. Now, also at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, over at the Comic Book Fiend Club. The Comic Book Fiend Club is going live with a stream titled The Comic Book Fiend Club Presents The Fiend Cast. Man, there's a bunch of great guys over there. Don't be scared away by the logo. I'll tell you, man, there's some good cats over there. Now, at 6:30 p.m. Pacific, 9:30 p.m. Eastern, over at the Comic Book Wars Comic Book Wars YouTube channel, they've got the 35th edition of the Comic Book Wars podcast, episode number 35. All right, now at 8 p.m. Wait a minute. It's Tuesday. It's Tuesday, 7 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. I do believe the home of the New York Warriors are having an auction. You know what? I should have pulled up the Instagram on that, because I do believe I was tagged several times. That's another way for me to introduce the lineup. Let's go to my tags, and there it is. That's right. So tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific, home of the New York Warriors, is going live with the next edition of the Tuesday night comic book auction. Oh, it did work. Okay, cool. Now, also tonight and every night, 5 days a week, Comic Core is going live with a show. Go check them out at 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern. Check out the local boys here in California. Fantastic Comics. They've got a stream titled This Whole Everything #2. We Ain't the Only Ones. That's always fun. And let me jump back to the beginning because you know how we end the day. We end the day with Disco After Dark. That's right. I don't have a confirmed guest yet, but we're going to be going over the list. What's coming out tomorrow, man? I want to talk about it. So if you're interested to pop in the show and help us create some content with your amazing feedback and comments from the chat, I'd be welcome to join you. Now, that's it for the lineup. Let me get back over here and get this thing off of me now because I have a guest that I want to pop in here. And I want to hit the chat. Since I haven't hit the chat, this is a live show, and it only took 7 minutes to run through the lineup. I want to thank the 11 people who are watching me live. And I want to thank Meta for stopping by, man. Metaphorical is here once again. And Dylan's comic book rant said he was here. He was, Dylan, you son of a... All right. Tom's comic book review is here, and we're going to get Tom set up so he's not so blotchy. And once we get him streaming good, we're going to try and get him on the show. Also, Two Brothers Comics. Hey, man, that was an amazing entry for the Immortal Biggie Shack. And like I said, watch it to the end because it's everything you wanted. Jeff Comic is here. Tomorrow's Wednesday, and Wednesday has the Cantonese Comic Kid dropping that Cantonese Comic Wednesday. So make sure you drop by and check out Jeff tomorrow. 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. Speedy's Comic Showcase says, hi, JB. Thanks for stopping in, Speedy. I hope everything is, getting back to normal. Perry's Comic says, hey, JB, and coffee breath. That's what reminds me. Let's take an awkward sip of coffee and my ode to Pocan Joe.
I don't got coffee. The next best thing.
There you go. Collectible Paper. I love that handle. Collectible Paper is here joining us. Agu Ramos says, yep, the usual suspects are here. Dre Boogie is here. And Ben Compton says, what up, JB? So, man, that's a great, nice little lineup we've got for tonight. Keep in mind, folks, the way the channel works is that'll be updated literally all day. I am updating the live streams. As a matter of fact, if you go past the current lineup, you'll see what streamed earlier today. I just moved them to the end. And after them, I'm starting to put in tomorrow's stuff. So if you want to see some other comic book content that's already scheduled out for tomorrow, that is already at the end of what ended today. So it's a nice little system. If you ever are wondering what's happening, just pop on by. Now, if you're in the chat and I forgot something, go ahead and hit it up right now because I could just go ahead and highlight that comment and it's just like getting it in the show, So if you're a content creator and you're like, what the heck is going on around here? I got to get on this show. Well, the easiest way to get on the show is to show up in the chat, drop me a comment that I can highlight, or schedule your stuff in advance so I can put it in the playlist that I share with the community. By the way, let's get a quick congratulations to Tom's Comic Books and Reviews, who's hardly dropped anything yet, but just by being in the chat, in a couple of live appearances, he's already got himself to 100 subscribers. Congratulations to you, Tom.
Yeah, I think I was his 100th sub.
Okay, Perry says, oh yeah, we lurking tonight after Buy or Pass, which isn't in the lineup. Nah, Buy or Pass tonight. Rod the Rican with Comic Jabroni. Comics with Bueller is stopping by. Says, hello. Hey, thanks for stopping by Comics with Bueller. Yeah, man. So that's another one. Rod the Rican. We'll be doing Buy or Pass tonight. And you know what? I'm not sure if the boys from Chino Comics and more, they're going to come back with their show because they used to also do a kind of a review show, of what's coming out since they own an LCS and they physically got the books. So that was always a fun show. Maybe that one will come back. They used to have Steve Burke Family 54 Comics. Hashtag Forever Nasty on that show. And Thorough, keeping it thorough. So maybe that one will come back. But, we will get Buy or Pass tonight. You're going to have the Comic Jabroni. You're going to have Perry. Hey, Perry, are you going Blazer tonight? Are you going back to the new denim breakdancing?
The Axel Foley. I call it the Axel Foley jacket.
I almost have to go back and check out the thing because it was so hilarious. That may be one of the best things I've ever been tagged in. Where is it at? Here it is. As a matter of fact, maybe we'll share it. I don't think John would be upset if we shared it. You know, this is going to be kind of a pseudo. It's not a roast on Perry. I love you, Perry. But this is going to be a pseudo Instagram tag of the day. I'm gonna take John's tag from yesterday. John's Comics with Kids tagged me in this terrific post that he had yesterday, where he actually says, and I'll read it, man. If you're not tuning into Discovery Bay Comics on YouTube, you're missing the great content and deals. He's got a channel guide so you can tell which shows are upcoming. He highlights the best edited videos. He sells books for great prices in his pop-up shops. My favorite content he makes, however, is his late night Disco After Dark. He brings all sorts of great community members on, and they have a blast talking about any and everything. A few weeks back, I had fun in the chat with my boy Perry Comics. Here are a few highlights. Make sure you sub these two channels, and I'll see you in the chat for the next Disco After Dark. John was on fire. And we've got some pics here of my man Perry Comics. And this for Perry looks like the guy who stands next to Eminem when he's rocking that 8 Mile Life. John was on fire, my friends. We'll go through them all. Why not, right? Is Perry dressed like a background player from Good Will Hunting? Pretty good. Hey, Perry looks like the white Axel Foley. There we go. And if you don't know who Axel Foley is, man, you are too young for this show. Perry looks like the guy who sells Luke Perry drugs on a special episode of 90210. These are fantastic. Hey, Perry, when does your late 90s hip hop CD drop? Perry looks like one of the ET kids if he grew up, but his wardrobe didn't. Perry first wore that jacket in high school. Oh, man, we'll try that. Hey, Perry, which car did you drive in Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift?
Oh, man.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, if you're on Twitter, you're famous, working comics or working politics. Bear feels about Twitter the way I feel about Perry's jacket. I dislike strongly, but I can't stop talking about it. That is the Instagram tag of the day. It has to be. That was the best tag I got tagged in forever. That was fantastic, John. Man, he says he's going to lurk it. Absolutely. New kids on the block, Perry. Hey, Funk Comic 814. Thanks for stopping in, sir. He says, Two Brothers. That awesome issue number 2 of this book hits tomorrow. Oh, I'm missing some of the chat. Oh, here we go. What's going on here? We also have a live interview in the AM, Over the Ropes with Jay Saden. This is exactly the perfect thing right here, where you guys pop in your comment and I will highlight what is coming up. And it's just like being in the show. All right. Hey, Second Street Marvel is here doing his thing every morning at 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern. Catch Trinity going live and just killing it with the content. Man, literally, he's up to date with like all the latest and greatest stuff, man. Cheers to Trinity. Awkward sip of coffee.
Cheers to the whole comic book community, man. It's
absolutely.
fantastic.
Cheers to this comic book community. Cheers to the 18 people who are joining me live right now as we're breaking it down. We've changed the format of the show. JB says, you know what? It's just so much easier to go live. I've got this StreamYard thing. Let's figure out how to work it. I'm actually streaming on Facebook right now, too. The only thing I'm not going to do on Facebook is anything where people are trying to claim stuff, because that's just no way. Like on the pop-up shop, wait a minute, this guy was on Facebook. So we're not going to do any of those types of things.
Well, yeah, it'd be hard to say who was first or
who was first.
Yeah.
I mean, first according to what? And I definitely don't want to go by StreamYard, because the way StreamYard loads the messages, they load them in blocks. If you're watching on StreamYard and you're trying to do the show like on our end,
yeah,
and you want to show a comment, sometimes when you go to choose the comment, it loads a whole nother set of stuff and you show a completely different comment than you were looking for. And then you got to kind of scroll back up to say, hey, where did I miss there? Collectible Paper wants to know, did he win? Is that kind of like your standard intro? Because I think it is. No, seriously, there's a couple people. I think that's a standard intro, like Big Will, I have arrived. I used to be the, what did I used to use? You've been discovered, which I got from Biggie Shaq. I did that for a while. I think Collectible Paper always comes into the chat with, did I win? I'm serious. By the way, hey, you can win. All you got to do is show up to one of the pop-up shops and you got a great chance of winning. I mean, man, yesterday was fantastic. Pinky's Out podcast stopped by a whole group of them and said, you know what? I want to buy a round. It's like buying a round of shots. Let me buy it. How much, JB? How much for a round? $12. Yeah, I want to buy a round. Boom! Pinky's Out podcast buys everybody comic books.
Shouts out.
It's just an amazing thing. Shouts out to Pinky's Out. You guys are awesome, man. To Huggably, I could go on and on, man. Then you go back in time. Scott Fars and the Pope C's and the chat blew the doors off the place last night by sending me a text and said, make the last round $10, which I didn't even have a $10 round. I was looking at the box when he sent me the text. Okay, I'm gonna have to open up some stuff. And he goes, make the last round $10 and it's on me. Okay. And just what an amazing show. Anyway, yeah, that is. I just nailed it. That was Collectible Papers intro.
Nice.
I love it. That is fire, bro. That is fire. Hey, Dre Boogie has popped in. If I missed you, I'm sorry about that. I just want to go back over and make sure I didn't miss anybody. Coffee Breath, that's a good one. Fun Comics 814, welcome to the channel. And now, like I mentioned, Two Brothers is dropping more content, so we don't want to miss them tonight. And Crazy Guy Comic Song Too Crazy. Now I know that let's just get this out in the open right now, because we're all seeing you pop in the chat. Am I supposed to be singing this or something? Is there something that makes this name stroll? Like if you hummed a few bars of something and then I'm like, oh, that's what it is. I get it because I don't get it. But I don't get it, but I want to get it because you're popping all the time, and I appreciate you stopping in all the time, man. That's awesome. But like, tell us in the chat so we get it right, man. You're in the shows; it'll spread like wildfire. I'm telling you. If you like go, oh yeah, you got to say it to the tune of, and it makes sense. I would love that. That'd be great. I appreciate you though. Thanks for stopping.
Beautiful thing.
That is a beautiful thing. And this is another great name, Collectible Paper, because that's what we're doing. We're collecting paper, man.
Cardboard, man.
And cardboard and plastic. There's a lot of plastic too, man. All these bags and boards everywhere, for sure. So
hey, at least it's all recyclable.
It is recyclable. It is recyclable. So we're just gonna spitball for the last 10 minutes of the show because I want to try to keep it about a half an hour. And we could stream these things all day. I mean, I've had people tell me, Biggie Shack says that this should be the network, and I just roll an 8-hour stream and just have it, oh, by the way, we're going to come up at 2 o'clock. We're going to do a pop-up shop at 2. Oh, wait, at 5 o'clock, we're going to do a decision. We're going to do a sorting. Oh, at 8 o'clock, we're going to do my wife would kill me, bro. She'd kill me. I had so much stuff I got to do. I still got to fold laundry from yesterday. Anyway, I figured we just hit the chat and actually ask you a couple more things. We popped out an idea. We have to continue with, our plans for offering real help to the community for anyone out there that's interested in getting behind the camera. And, hey, what's the minimum we need as a setup? And, all those questions that we talked about, what kind of content can we really make? We have some suggestions for all of that, but really it all comes back to a show that we want to do. And we need to tighten that up. Let's tighten it, as my wife, we've got to tighten it up. Mm-hmm. So let's talk about that show, man. Let's talk about when should we do this show? When should we debut it? Let's test run the show. Let's test run the show on your channel. When?
What do you?
I know you're booked out for this 5 o'clock window. That is a great little time slot you picked out right there. When do you want to do one?
I mean, it's based on your availability and pretty much feedback from the chat when they're wanting it. So I'm free, most days. So no.
Hey, Tom, thank you very much. Working on it his end. Tom wants to be on. Tom's going to be part of this community. He's going to get a little logo and change this little, no person thing.
Oh, I can hook you up with a logo, man. I hooked Fire Davis up with one, so I'll hook you up with Tom
and see what he's doing there, because he's got, I think he's got kind of a feel to him, especially with the shirt kind of thing. I think you could do something with that, and he wants to be part of this, so we need to get him streaming better. Definitely, we got to get him streaming better.
I would say,
what would you think your earliest suggestions for anybody who's just having bad time streaming? Because right now Tom is like still. So are you on your what questions are you gonna ask him? Are you doing a Wi-Fi? Are you plugged in directly to the router? Do you know what the router is?
Yes.
Where do you start with someone?
So like basically what we start is like, what do they have currently to stream with? Like, what is their current
What are you
setup?
working with now?
Because
That's
then
the number one question.
because then from there I can basically recommend, okay, and then like where like how are you approaching this? Is this something that you want to like? Are you wanting to drop content every day? Are you wanting to make pre-made content? Are
Or
you
you
want
just want to pop on people's, lives when you get the invite because you want the hot tag,
yeah? So stuff like that. So also, if you guys can post in the chat, and leave comments on this video on like some of your top questions. So, and then we'll pull from those and basically start to make like a format. So I know the first show that we want to do on like starting equipment and like bare minimums that you want to have if you want to get started. So that's probably,
and the different platforms. Don't get freaked out when you hear OBS because of all the horror stories. If what you're trying to do is simple, that might work, and it might actually be cheaper, in the long run than doing the StreamYard, monthly service. So and there's other stuff out there. There's Streamlabs. There's definitely other platforms out there.
Yeah, you have options that are based on like how you're approaching it, like what your budget is. If your budget is free, then I'm gonna recommend something different than if you're like, okay, I got X amount of money that I could spend on making content. So,
and then as it progresses, I think we should talk about settings and what you can ask for from your service provider with regards to. I mean, everybody is as a consumer, most consumers are worried about download speed. I want to watch. Well, guess what? On this end, you actually start to care about your upload speed. And it's just a matter of asking for settings changes to get your upload speed upped. And it's like
and
most people just don't ask for it.
Yeah, and configuring your router properly and stuff like that. So just things like that, and we would build on it. And then basically, as people got more experience, the classes would get more advanced. And then if people were coming that were newer people, then we would reference them back to previous videos or questions that we had already answered. So
I think we need to put this down. Let's get this show in the books so people know when to tune in on this. Okay?
All right. So how about by Thursday, give me and JB like till Thursday, and we'll announce the first show during Pop-Up Shop on Thursday.
Thursday is a decision show.
Or Wednesday, sorry.
Wednesday.
We can do it. Yeah, we can do it tomorrow. I could do it tomorrow.
Okay.
To release the date. So
yeah, let's do that. We'll release the date during the halfway point of tomorrow's Pop-Up Shop show. So that'll be something to look for. There you go. And seriously, this is something that we really want people to pop in on and tell us what they're doing that's working. Tell us what they did that didn't work. And we're going to do the same thing. I mean, this guy does IT for a living, and I'm kind of handy. So I think we can help.
If you're interested on being on the show, if you're someone, a bigger content creator and you have, experience you want to share or anything like that, then also reach out to me. Yeah. Reach out to me if on Twitter, or get a hold of me on Instagram or through Discovery, so we can help the smaller content creators.
I almost consider Perry, if you right now, anybody who watches Perry's Morbius, not the reaction video, but the who is he, that is a absolute textbook edited video for long-term survival of a video that will go. That thing is at one point he even points up and he points to the video that he just made earlier and said, "Hey, check out my reaction video over here." He's got a picture. It is perfect. He's jumping from black and white, forward and back, changing the perspective. Perry, well done, sir. Well done. That's going to stay on the top. That's going to stay on the top for a while. And seriously, look at all the different elements. Another channel that's killing it. Textbook thumbnails. Two Brothers Comics. You know why they're growing so quickly? Because go look at their page. It flows. It's beautiful. All the thumbnails are textbook. There's a lot of good stuff out there. I'm going to learn a lot. We're going to see the evolution of this channel through this process of us helping you, because in turn you guys help us, and I'm going to and everybody's going to grow with this. This community will grow.
Yeah,
it's
that's
going
my
to
hope.
grow.
It already is. So I mean, it's just going to get better and better. So, and most definitely Perry is, he's really putting his work in, man, and it shows, and he's succeeding based off of that. And congratulations, Perry.
Yeah, definitely. He has a question for us too. What's the best bit rate for YouTube Live? Good question.
59.9.
Comic Book Fiend Club. Hey, man, thanks for stopping in, fellas. You're in the lineup today. You were in the show. You're on the thumbnail. He's like, someone was popping by. This group is not small, guys. The Comic Book Fiend Club is a big group. And again, don't be scared off by the logo and the patches. That is nothing. This is some of the best people in the community are in this group. And it's a very large group, and they do lots of charitable stuff, too. I mean, it's not just, it's really cool. Check them out. But I had him in the lineup, and I bet you someone said, hey, wait a minute, dude, I think that's ours on their thumbnail. Because if you check out the thumbnail, you know, this is the new way for me to do a thumbnail. I'm going to tell you what was in the lineup at the time that I did the thumbnail. And there they are. So thanks for stopping in, fellas. I appreciate you. Hack 79, man, one of my favorites. Another favorite person in the chat. He says, hey, don't laugh. My camera won't output at 60 frames per second. Only really? Interesting.
Oh, that's
are you using which camera are you using? It's like we all use the same 0922, Logitech. Is that what you're using, Perry?
Perry, send me what you have, your setup and stuff, and then
send us the setup. I'd love to get the specs on that and see what you're working with. I do know that when I upgraded the system, and yeah, not everyone can afford to go buy a new computer, but I had to. Sometimes if you wanted to do what I wanted to do, which is this, and have all kinds of background and craziness going on and graphics, and I needed to, pony up. So I did, but not everybody wants to do this. Most people just kind of want to join the chat and be able to hop on, when they get the hot tag. I'm serious. Or put out some content and just be part of the community, putting out stuff.
Yeah, I'll send you something on IG, Perry.
It says Logitech output is only 30 frames per second. Interesting. He's got a Sony A5100. Perry ain't playing, bro. Perry's ready to take it downtown. No wonder. Definitely.
Yeah, that's a decent camera.
That is very nice. Yes, definitely. So I wanted to thank you for joining me as, we went through the lineup. Real quick, I'm just going to cover you up. I did want to show that everybody, I got two things coming up. 2:35 p.m. Pacific. We're going to be going, Is This Comic Book Worth $1? The Decision Show for tomorrow's Pop-Up Shop Show. And tonight, come on back because we're going over the checklist of the stuff that's coming out tomorrow for Disco After Dark. And Meta, we're gonna drop some stuff tomorrow, I guess at the halfway point of the pop-up shop, and we're gonna be telling them when they can tune in and start to go through the process, and with a little help.
Yep.
With a lot of help, actually, because we're gonna be there.
Yep. And you can always find me even beyond the show. You can get a hold of me, wherever. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, or leave me a comment on YouTube or something like that if you're not already subscribed or follow me or something. So and you'll find me making content every day at 8 p.m. tonight. I think we'll be doing the new comic book day recommendations and stuff like that.
Here we go.
Tries to squeeze that in. Yesterday my stream got delayed because I was helping JB and then had some issues with my kid, but I still uploaded like half an hour of gameplay.
Yeah, you did. All right, so that's the standard time, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. Metaphorical is going to have some content, and tonight we're talking comic books. You're going to give us some reviews, right?
Yep.
Sounds great.
Z Collect, and I think maybe Dylan's coming through on that one. So
cool. Yeah, I'm going to try and get Dylan on the show tonight. On the Disco After Dark. He fell asleep on me last night. That guy, man. I had everything all queued up for him.
This guy.
Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and close this out by saying, don't forget, everybody. Man, we had a good time, right?
Keep it coming.
What did you say? I don't want to cut you off.
I said keep it comics. You know what it is.
Keep it comics. There it is. Thanks a lot, everybody.